Are you gonna charge for that set of nails? Today we've got a really special episode. Two things. First of all, Greg Salo is going to be doing this set of nails. And second, he is going to be featuring some art that we haven't done yet on the How Much series, which is 3D encapsulated nail art. Now, here's the situation. Your customer walks in the door and brings this beautiful set of nails, and she pretty much wants it exactly how she sees it. Now, here's the thing. Encapsulated nail art is something that is going to take some time. So, the price of the set is going to be a little more expensive. How much exactly? This I don't know, but good thing we've got a couple pros sitting here to tell us, take us through the steps, and we're gonna talk to the guy himself, Mr. Greg Salo.
All right, so the key is using flowers I pick from my gardens. The key is using a glass type of acrylic product, which we're gonna be using Speed Clear, zero bubbles, glass-like transparency, and then we wanna be able to use a white that's gonna set up quite fast. I usually like to add a couple drops of acetone to a separate dish so my flowers set quick. That way I can just kind of press them into place. So I usually use a separate dish for that. But you'll see how I lay them out. I don't try to overwhelm the flowers with too many petals. Simple makes it basically clean. Clean makes it beautiful.
Awesome. I can't wait to see this. I can't wait to see how much you're going to charge. Are you ready?
Let's do this.
Let's do it, man.
Let's do this.
Thumbs up.
Do this, bro. All right, to create this design, we're going to use Speed White, we're going to use Speed Clear, we're going to use Young Nails Monomer, we're going to use the Pro Young Nails portable airbrush. We need protein bond to have incredible adhesion. And we need some amazing airbrush paint, which is going to be the white paint. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so what I've done is I've already prepared the natural nails. I've already removed shine from the surface and used swipe to cleanse it. So what we're gonna do is we're going to use protein bond. We wanna be able to put 2 coats. So as I go through and do basically a coat on all the natural nails, by the time I get to the 10th, then I'm ready to go back and do 1 more. So we're gonna make sure that we have 2 coats on the natural nails. For the actual enhancement, we do not need to put protein bond because we're gonna be airbrushing onto a textured surface. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're going to place our form onto the nail, and I wanna be able to get this long almanetto shape. When I put my form on to make sure it's straight, one of the things I wanna be able to do is I wanna be able to kind of get the client profile just to make sure that my forms are going straight out, which they are pretty good. So let's go ahead and just ensure that they're nice and tight underneath. And then what we want to be able to build is a nice transparent free edge. We're going to be able to use Speed Clear to achieve that look. What I want to be able to do is I want to be able to get a nice wet pearl. Now at this point, you're going to notice that when I set it down, the first thing I like to do is I kind of want to be able to pull it all the way out to the length that I desire. Then I could use the body of my brush to walk it up to the corner. And again, what I want to be able to achieve is something that is flush to the natural nail. You're going to see how transparent everything is. I could lightly pull it just so that I can make it nice and tight. If the length goes a little bit longer, that's not a big deal because I'm going to be able to use my hand file to get it nice and even to the desired length that I need. Okay, so what we have done is we've established a really nice transparent tip, as you can see. And what we're going to be able to do is we're going to be able to use this as our canvas to shape our flowers on top. Okay, now we're going to use Speed White to build the flowers out. And I'm going to use a separate dish with a nail liquid and a few drops of acetone just to increase the dry time. Again, I don't recommend you using this to actually build the body. I recommend using this if you're just basically sculpting out your flowers. Okay, so what we're gonna do, it's really important for me, I'm gonna get a separate towel, because what I wanna be able to do is when I dip my brush, I wanna be able to spin it to get a nice point, and this is also going to allow me to pick up nice tiny pearls just like this. Now, the area that I want to be able to sculpt, I want to be able to kind of mask right here, this line. You can see her natural nail through the clear. I want to be able to mask this area right here so you could see where her natural is joining right up to the clear. So I'm going to use flowers to kind of mask this area. I'm just going to kind of run them up here and then down through the free edge. So again, I'm going to submerge my brush, I'm going to spin it, I'm going to get a small pearl, and then what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to set it here, and then what I'm going to do with the tip of my brush is I'm going to get behind it right here, and I just want to lightly push from the center out, and what that's going to do, it's just going to kind of flatten out the petal. I want to try to keep it as hollow as I can in the middle, and I'm using, again, you can see the body of the brush just to walk it out to the sides. And again, notice that the center of the petal is quite hollow, and that's what I want to be able to achieve. I almost want to be able to create this fan-like shape. Again, all the sides are really flat. And the reason why I want them really flat is because I'm going to be putting petals around the edges. This time what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this down. This one's a little bit bigger, that's okay. Again, inside, notice how I'm using the tip of the brush and I'm keeping it to the inside. My brush is almost at an angle. It's not completely flat. What this is going to allow me to do is work it to the outside so that I have a nice little ledge. And then I'm just going to press it out and keep pressing it until, as you can see, I build a second petal. And again, it's great because it's basically covering a lot of space. Okay, now I have a little bit of negative space right here. What we want to be able to do is we want to be able to get a petal that's going to fit right inside this thin area. You don't want it to overwhelm the whole entire flower. So again, I'm going to dip my brush, I'm going to spin it. This is going to give me a really, really controlled pearl. And then what I'm going to be able to do is I'm going to be able to set it right to the center, just like this. And again, with the tip of my brush, I'm going to rest it inside. And then I just want to start opening it up, as you can see, just like this. And then I want to be able to use the body of my brush to just start lightly pressing it out so the petals look like they're resting on top. Almost looks like I have this orchid-like flower, right? Look at that, just like that. 3 petals, and again, I'm not creating 5 or 6 petals. It's not necessary. You want to be able to keep it nice and tight. If you look at the side profile, you can see how thin that is. It's not raised so high because I have to overlay it with clear powder. Come right back over the top. Now I just need one small dot. Now I'm going to show you. I'm going to take my brush, I'm going to spin it, I'm going to just quickly touch so that I get a really, really small bead. If I think it's too much, I could wipe it off on my finger. I could literally take half of it off, as you can see, and then I'm going to use that half right in the center, press it down, it's going to stick, just like that. Then I'm going to use the tip of my brush and I'm just going to kind of stab at it. What that's going to do, it's going to create a nice tiny little donut that's going to fit right inside and give it the dimension that I want. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to lace petals around all the open space around here, and I'm just gonna make sure that I don't make them, again, I'm not gonna overwhelm it with too many petals. I wanna be able to create as much detail as I possibly can. Let me show you how it's done. If I turn her nails to the side, how thin the design is. It gives me plenty of room to sculpt a clear body over the whole top. I'm going to use Speed Clear. I'm going to switch back to my normal monomer. And when I am actually overlaying the whole thing, I want to make sure that I'm using a pearl that's really, really wet so that I don't really have to do that much work. I'm going to let the bead do all the work for me. So I need to get something really, really wet. And then when I set it to the cuticle area, my focus is really just going to be on securing that perimeter tight, right? And then I just lightly like to feather it over the whole nail. And then it'll just kind of glide into place. I'm not concerned about that area in the back, because when it files, it's gonna file nice and tight. Right, so I'm not trying to pull it over the whole entire design. As you can see from the side profile, what I'm doing is I'm building my upper arch. I still have a lot of space that I have to fill in here. So with my next pearl, again, really, really wet, I'm going to get something on, and then I'm going to set it backwards right here just to join it. Then I'm going to allow the product kind of flow down over the tip. I'm gonna let it flow down over the tip. Again, being really, really light, and then just kind of lightly brushing it over the tip to seal everything into place. Then once it's over the whole entire design, then I can use the body of the brush just to kind of lightly pat it into place. And then as you can see, I've completely encased the clear in a really nice, transparent product. So the nice thing is when the body starts to cure, I could actually take my magic wand and right here at this area, just give it a slight pinch. That way it makes it really, really tight through the body area right here. Then the best part about it is I don't have to hold on to it. I can just get it nice and tight into position, and then again, I'm going to have great shape all the way through. So it's really, really important when you're doing any type of ombre that the surface of the nail is textured. So I'm just going to lightly go over the surface. The nail has already been shaped, but I just want to be able to show you guys that by using a 150 grit file, I'm going to be able to add some really, really good texture to the surface. And this is going to be well prepped so that nothing chips off the nail. I'm going to use Swipe to clean all the dust from the surface. And then we're going to go ahead and set our airbrush up. Okay, so what we want to be able to do is I want to be able to take a few drops, 1, 2, 3, okay, and that is enough. I'm going to fire it on to the heaviest setting right here. I want to kind of just spray out any mist that I have, and then just testing it on my glove right here, you can see that I actually have a really, really nice mist, and that is exactly what I want. So perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and get her hand, And before I start spraying her, I want to go ahead and spray again my hand just to make sure that it's light. And then you can see I'm going to start working it at the tip with a very, very light spray. I don't want to overdo this. I want to make sure that when we do the ombre, I want to make sure that I have a really, really thin coat. And as you can see, I just want to make sure that we're getting a really nice application on the sides. Don't want to overwhelm it. As you can see, I'm going to have a really, really nice, tight spray. I'm going to sculpt out the rest, file finish, shape, and I'm going to show you guys what it looks like when it's done.
Okay, we've got our set of nails by this man right here. These are unbelievably beautiful. Oh my God, I'm dying to know, because this is definitely a custom sculpted set with those flowers. I'm just really wanting to know, Greg, how much?
$175.
$175.
Yes,
okay.
Because
talk to me.
So the full set starts at $90. The shaping is an extra $15. The airbrushing is an extra $10. Then you have to remember, each one of those fingers that I sculpted out, there's 4 of them. It's $15 a finger. That's another $60 on top of the full set. So when you add it all up, it's $175.
$175. Listen, when you got the master and he's doing your nails, you're gonna have to pay up, because that's gonna take a little bit of time. This to me looks like a little bit of a wedding set. Would you agree, Greg?
I would agree, because I mean, again, depending on your skills, it could take anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours worth of work. So if you're spending that much time, you have to get at least $175.
Totally. Nice wedding set of nails. Greg, will you marry me?
No.
We will see you next week on How Much.